Oh boy, am I not looking forward to this one. I hope you like mournful singing because there's a lot of it and little else. Not just because as a Canadian, I have a soft spot and government ordained affinity for the French. So apologies in advance, désolé d'avance, mais ton jeu est nul, because this game is shit. I hope you like being French Spider-Man because there's a lot of it and little else.
Academy.
I hope you like beating the everlasting shit out of little French girls because there's a lot of it and...
That's for your, if there's room.
Well, there's still space up her ass. As a recurring theme throughout this game, what the is the point of this? It's shit, y'all think it isn't, but it is. The game says this is dancing, so I guess French romance is just hitting each other with sticks. That wasn't even what we were doing, you're a terrible artist. F off, no tip. What the hell is this? Where are the topless ladies the saboteur assured me was everywhere in Paris? Y'all believe this is art, it's actually crap. I'm not even doing this to be contrarian for clicks because Buddha only knows. The less attention I get from angry hipsters, the happier I'll be. And also, I kinda wanna keep that nuclear sub they parked off Newfoundland because the dumb shit owners of the meth lab downstairs is getting uppity again. I forgot why he had to repaint the house last time. But Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is shit and there's no changing the fact that it's shit and no amount of toilet paper is going to help, but why not give credit where it's due before twisting the knife?
What can I say? I'm an optimist.
How many times I gotta teach you this lesson, you weak little girl? So at least the game isn't priced like it deserves the glazing it's currently getting from the unshaven boorish masses who depend on this game to make them feel like they're not illiterate, and all the glazing can rightfully go to the voice actors and whatever black magic f***ery is going on with the motion capture to make this one of the most impressive displays of video game acting I've seen to date. Who the hell are you, emo Sephiroth?
Which expedition are you from? Fall back!
Well, I have to admit I did like the magical Normandy beach landing that totally goes sideways. I hope you like fighting robots because there's a also Sekiro for some reason. Scenery is impressive though. So impressive that ironically I started dreading the actual game parts of the game I paid for in favor of getting to the next cutscene to see where the story was going. Until I found out it was basically misery porn. Like somebody played The Last of Us 2 and thought it'd make a pretty sweet JRPG. So far so emo Final Fantasy. And not just because we really wanted to see Tifa's tits animated in glorious 3D. That was just not capable of being reproduced faithfully in gameplay in 1997. And mentioning Final Fantasy naturally brings me to the direct comparison that Clair 33 whatever is somehow JRPGs done right by Europeans, even when the closest comparison I could make was less Final Fantasy 7 and more Final Fantasy 16, the dour English one. Also Dark Souls for some reason.
This one looks dangerous.
Yeah, let's not then.
Someone came here before and set up these handholds.
It was the developers. Seriously, forget builds and just do this, you win every single time.
Fuck. It's big.
I've seen bigger. He's sniffing her butt. It's chivalrous French courtship.
Sorry.
That's not artistic statement. That's somebody leaving a floating model they forgot to delete from the scenery.
68.
I really wanted to join Expedition 69 because you know they just spend all their time. Fuck, this gun sucks. Why would I even bother when I can just... out of here before I beat you again. I gotta make my point. Also, why does any of this matter when... There are also Jawas in this game for some reason. Shit, Jawa's hulking out. Nope. Look, it's either make build so powerful that you don't need to parry, or the parry so powerful you don't need to build, and the game is very firmly established in the latter category, so long as you've played some variation of Dance Dance Revolution before. So now really, you know how in the really good Final Fantasies your party was composed of in equal parts of racial stereotypes, comically oversized weapons, and whatever the Muppet abomination Kate Sith was supposed to be, so that everybody had a really distinctive, instantly memorable appearance, and you can pretty much recognize Tifa's tits just by her silhouette alone. Whereas in Expedition 33, everybody is basically limited to looking like pretty French Eurotrash, and you wouldn't even be able to tell the f***ers apart from, aside again, the hard work of the voice actors to give identical stormtrooper uniforms some sense of individuality. Huh? Pointless, so long as you know how to... And the story, which is so lauded, falls apart right at the beginning if you have a working brain. F*** off. No, wait, come back. You see, maybe it comes down to my initial misunderstanding of the plot, because I thought the painter's method of execution was entirely random. Where am I? No, really, I'm lost. Spare a f***ing thought for those of us who are directionally challenged.
Can't remember. Was it the other way?
Because in a story-based game, your confusing level design is actively preventing me from seeing the next part of your stupid story. Okay, let's talk story. Painter lady, i.e. I thought she paints any number that pops into her head on her giant wall and everybody of that age gets snapped out of existence. That would have lent an air of urgency, mystery, and tragedy to the proceedings, along with setting up any number of expedition members who can then go about their hopeless quest to confront her because of personal reasons. No, I'm talking here.
Welcome to WrestleMania!
Okay, now where am I? Anyways, reasons. Let's say the grandfather who loses a grandchild before they could grow out of infancy. The husband who loses a wife in the middle of a difficult pregnancy that they were nonetheless holding out hope for. Actual poignant working metaphor of the randomness of death rather than what it actually is, which is a countdown clock that turns the painter from interesting chaotic deity to mundane cosmic custodian.
Get out of my way!
Shut up. Yes, very Final Fantasy of you, I see.
Now get off my lawn!
I need my rocks.
He means drugs.
I can't believe this is the end of our expedition. We've learned nothing and achieved nothing.
You're all idiots. So the countdown. If you're just broadcasting common knowledge, then everybody who can work basic arithmetic is already 3 steps ahead of you, and I'm pretty sure nobody gave 2 shits when you were counting down in the mid-90s. But by that same reasoning, by the time you get to single digits, you might as well not even bother because 4-year-olds don't have the mental ability to understand numbers and also can't work a stove to feed themselves.
Apparently, that was where people went on dates, you know? What do you think happened in those cabins?
Girl, he just lost his wife. Why are you volunteering to be the rebound? Stop being a bitch.
Bitch!
So yes, I guess I am saying I already wrote a better story in my head before I started playing, and was rightfully disappointed this game couldn't live up to my undeniable genius. That's not even mentioning the absolute death knell of the game, which is its level design, which, given I've been cussing like a sailor who was raised without proper parental guidance, should by this point be self-explanatory.
We can finally cross the sea.
You don't happen to have some wine stashed away, do you?
It's because they're French, you see. If they were Americans, it'd be meth and racism.
It's more about...
Well, he's dead. I don't know, considering I haven't finished the game yet. Perhaps all these gripes can then be redressed, but going through the first third and finding it needs a redemption arc at all should immediately tell you the emo French people with a misery fetish are probably not as sophisticated as they are trying to pass themselves off to be.